Hi, and welcome to another tutorial from Bellwood Public Library. Today we're going to continue taking a look at some of our online resources. And in particular, we're going to look at another one of our platforms for digital reading of ebooks and e-audiobooks. We can access the link, as we have been accessing the others, through our online resources page. However, it's also available if we scroll down a little bit. We have a button right here that says Read and Listen Online. So we'll go ahead and go to that page, and we'll scroll down just a little bit more. And today I want to talk about Media on Demand, or Libby. You may have also heard of the word Overdrive. Now, Overdrive, Media on Demand, and Libby are all the same company. There are slightly different platforms. They're all one company, and across all of their platforms, they have the same availability and the same processing for how their holds and checkouts will work. You essentially have a choice for which you'd like to use or how you're going to use it. If you're going to use it through an app, we would recommend using the Libby app. It is the newest app that they've created. So you can get that through, we have the links for the iTunes App Store, the Google Play Store, and then also if you need it from the Microsoft Store as well, you can do that through there. Media on Demand is the desktop version if you'd like, and then there is, of course, the Libby link right here for the actual desktop version. You are able to access it. It does somewhat have an app interface to the website because it was built to be an app more than a website. However, it is completely accessible and usable as a website. The format is just a little bit flatter. So we're going to first look for our library card, and it's giving you a couple options where you can copy it or even guess the library if you'd like, if you're in Bellwood and you want to use your location. In this case, I'm just going to search, and I'm going to just type in Bellwood, and there we are. Now, with using Libby or Media on Demand, you have 20 checkouts at a single time. This is not a monthly checkout. This is not weekly or anything like that. It is just at a single time, you are allowed to have 20 items checked out to your account. So it's found our library, and we're going to go ahead and click on that one more time. Now it wants our card number. This is the point where you will put in your full card number. To create and use your account for Libby, all you need is your card number and your PIN number as well. This is the PIN number that is associated with your account through the library. If you use our computers or place anything on hold, that is the same number. If at any time you do change that PIN number with us, it will also change in Libby. So you will have to potentially sign out, maybe sign back in with your new PIN number. If you're having any difficulties with that, you can contact the library and we can try and help you out if you're having difficulties with the resetting of the PIN number issue. I'm going to switch over really quick to where I've already signed in into my account. And right here on the upper right, we have the little icon, and it's got the 1 right there. So I'm going to click on that because I have some sort of notification. Oh, and it's letting me know that my loan is due soon, and I'm having the option to renew it if I'd like. I did say that you're allowed to have up to 20 items checked out at one time. And the way that the Libby uses checkouts is similar to if it were a physical item. It's not. We're aware that these are all digital items, but the way that the contracts and pricing of these models for this platform works is that the ebooks are essentially just one book, and so they can only be checked out by one user at a time. And they also need to be renewed the same way that our physical books do. And so I can renew this title if I'd like, or in this case, ask for renewal, because I think there are probably some people that are waiting for it and have it on hold. So my renewal probably will not go through. What that means is the book will be removed from my shelf, and I will have to go back on hold and wait for the book if I don't finish it by the time my loan is up, because it will automatically be checked out to whoever is next on the list. If you have any books placed on hold through this system, it will automatically check out the item to you when it becomes available. When you're next in line and you're the next person, it'll automatically tell you that it's ready for you and you can start reading. If you do have preferences, say you strictly read through ebook or audiobook, you can put that here so that it will only show you those options. Similarly, if there's a language you'd like to read in, you can do that as well. If you only want to read children's books or adult books, those are options as well. If you have a Kindle, that is what this is for. If you'd like to switch to the Kindle capabilities. And then availability, like I mentioned, there are times when the books may not be available because they're checked out. So you can search by everything where it is showing you everything, even if it's checked out, or you can only be shown things that are available that you can check out right then and there. You don't want to bother with any sort of holds or anything like that. And then there's also default options, or sort options, where you can sort by release dates or dates they were added or things like that. For scrolling down just a little bit more, we're going to start coming into these collections. We have started creating collections for these platforms that are sort of acting as digital displays for us. We're going to come up with some different topics and different genres to display the books and help you in finding different things to read. So one of the first things we did, and was the easiest to put together, was the collection of books that we've read in the book club, Shades of Fiction. So if you're interested in checking out any of those titles, those are all a collection there available. And then if we continue scrolling down, we'll get to even more collections that we've come up with, and there are also some collections that are actually curated through Libby, and Libby creates them as well. And all you'd have to do is just click on the section, and it'll load up that option for you. And at any time you can just go back, and then we're back at that main page. If you are looking for what's new, we've got that big section right here of new book additions. And up here it's saying it's got 360 books, and then you see it's got 282 romance, 282 fiction, 132 fiction, romance, etc. And then you can keep doing that. If you'd like to choose a specific genre you're interested in, you can always just choose them as they're going through here. And this refine option is actually where you're going to get a lot of those format options again. All those same options we just had with the format, language, audience, the availability, all of that is here, so you can refine at any time and get those options if you don't want to see anything that you can't check out, for example. So this is what the layout will look like when you're browsing for books. As you can see here, we've got the title at the top in bold, followed by the author's name, a book jacket, and then it'll either say borrow or place hold, read sample, and then the option to tag. And then also some of these books have star ratings already if they've been out and rated by other people. So you can see what other people have rated these books out of 5 stars. And that little number next to it will let you know how many people have rated it. So as I said, there's a borrow or place hold option. So if I were to click borrow on this, that's what it would do. It would be automatic. I would have that book for 3 weeks. And then again, I could try and renew it if I wanted to. Place hold would work the same way. Something would come up. I'm not going to click on it because it will show my card number, but something would come up and just asking me if I want to place it on hold, and I would just click yes, and that's it. It would add me into the line of people on hold for the title. If you are interested in knowing a little bit more about the book, you can just click on that image, and it'll give you the synopsis as well as some more information. You'll also be able to, on the side here, they have some of the genres that it's a part of, where you can just quickly click on that. And right here, copies, it says here 0 of 3 available, and that there's 31 holds on each copy. So this is something pretty popular. This author has written a few books already. So, and it is a book that just came out, so it's at the height of its popularity, and it's got a pretty long wait time. We can, again, put this on hold, or maybe just go and decide we're gonna read something else. And again, we could always just go say, okay, we want to read something like that, but clearly that one's not going to work out. Let's try for another thriller. And then again, these are our options for the thrillers that they're giving us. And all I have to do, if I really want something right now that's available now, and it's automatically switched. So now these are all the books that are available now. The next thing I mentioned was reading a sample. If you are interested in reading a sample, all you have to do is click on that button, and it'll automatically load that up for you with whatever the sample is for that title. I have already done some changes to my display, but I'll actually go over what those changes look like. So right here, I've got it on a dark mode, which is through this letter. So you see down here, there's a dark option. There's also the sepia option, and then the bright option, which is your standard general white background, black text. There is the text scale right here, which goes, it's right in the middle at the moment. If you do need those accessibility, even like more sizing, that's available here. So as you see, it'll go down to being that small, but it can go up to being this large. So if you needed really whatever size you need, it is able to accommodate you for the most part. If you'd like to switch to 2 columns, if you'd like it to look more like a standard book, that's all you would have to do. This button right at the top here will switch between 1 or 2 columns. And then you can just always press back. Oh, lastly, I didn't mention the bookmark. You can bookmark your place. The book will automatically save where you've left off, but if there's a page you'd like to remember or something you want to highlight, you can do that through these options as well up here, the bookmarks options. Okay. And now I'm going to we're going to switch over to our shelf really quick, because since I was just reading that sample, that's showing up for me and saying that this is the last thing that I was read, and I'm currently reading that. But, I know that that's not really what I was reading. So you can go over here to the actions page or section. You have a couple options. You can synchronize your shelf, which if you have checked something out or even checked something back in and it's not showing properly, you can click on synchronize your shelf to let the system refresh itself and update with whatever your loans should be saying. Clear reading now is what I'm going to click next. And that'll just remove the sample that I had accessed, and I'm no longer reading it. Here is all my loans. I only have the one book checked out right now, but you see it's telling me that I'm 63% of the way through. It's going to be due in 2 days. And then I've already requested it again, so it's letting me know that I have requested that loan to be renewed. I do believe people have it on hold, so I probably won't get it. And as you can see, it's got it back on hold for me, saying that I placed that hold yesterday. When it does come, if you are, I should note that when you do need to renew a loan, you can only renew it once it is 3 days before the renewal date. You can't try and renew any time before then. You do have to have the 3 days. And then we'll go into the tag section really quick. I was playing around with this a little bit already. We'll continue to do. I'll show you how to do this further. But when you first go in to tags, you'll notice that there's actually an icon with a stack of books, which I've already edited, and then we have the thumbs up and the thumbs down. So what I did is I've already edited the stack of books and decided I wanted it to be my to be read shelf. And then I've added a shelf, which I've done right here, which I have done and made it the nonfiction shelf. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this one. I don't really want it to say thumbs up though, so I'm going to go to actions and I'm going to rename it. And instead I'm just going to call this my favorites. And I'm going to put a couple of my favorite titles here, just to help me keep some of the titles that I really like and that I really enjoyed reading. So what I'm going to do next, actually, this down one, I don't think I want to have a tag for that personally, so I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to delete that tag. And so now these are the tags I've got. I've got a to be read, a favorites, and a nonfiction. As you can see, I've got one title in both of those. If you just click on it, and it'll just open up, and there's that book. And it's just a quick click away. And it makes it just very easy for me to then go back and remember all the books that I want for those specific sections that I've created. And this is, I've created a section for me for books that I'm planning on reading because I'd like to keep track of all the different titles. I also created one for myself for the nonfiction because I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I am a primarily fiction reader. So I do still like to keep track of the different nonfiction titles that I read. So we're going to go back to the library really quick, and I want to find some titles to add into my different tags, just to kind of show that a little bit more. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of pressing that back button each time. There's also an arrow right there that'll take me to the top of the page if I want. So I've read most of these titles. I am in the book club. So right here, we can just go on tag. If you do at any time want to add a new tag, you can go ahead and do that right here. It's even giving you a few different options. For summer reads, books you've sampled, you can do different emojis. They have the favorites option, the same thing as the wish list option that we've already used. Now, this is something I've read and was one of my favorites, so I'm going to, I'm sorry, I'm not creating a tag. I want to go back, I'm not creating a tag. This is my favorites. I'm going to add it into favorites. There we go, now that book's been added into my favorites. And we'll scroll through down here a little bit more. Is there, and I can add anything else. Oh, this one was one of the nonfiction titles that we read. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then again, just quickly go back to the shelf and looking at our tags, and that's automatically been updated. So now I have more books that are available. I hope this little overview into Libby was helpful for those of you interested in using this app. If you've previously used Media on Demand before, it is very similar. There are slight differences. If you have used Media on Demand, they didn't have any sort of tagging system. They really only used a wish list where you could use to keep track of things you'd like to read. They didn't have any sort of tagging system of creating tags yourself to keep track of books that you've read or are planning to reading, or any sort of way that you would like to tag your books. You can do that with Libby.